All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about the story of a man who started with just a handful of followers and a dream that seemed, well, impossible. He ended up founding an entire empire. We're talking about Shivaji Maharaj. But this isn't just a story about battles and conquest. It's about a revolutionary idea that took on the most powerful forces of the time. So let's get right into it. You see, to really get Shivaji, you can't just look at dates on a timeline. His life was this incredible, inspiring saga. I mean, it was a story packed with powerful emotions, unbelievable struggles, and this relentless quest for self-rule. And that's probably why it still feels so powerful today. And this really is the big question, isn't it? How on earth did the son of a local chieftain manage to go up against not one, but two gigantic empires, the Bijapur Sultanate and the Mughals? The answer, as you'll see, is this fascinating mix of vision, brilliant strategy, and just pure stubborn courage. You know, every great movement starts with an idea. And Shivaji's story? It doesn't begin on a battlefield. It begins in the mind of a young boy, with a vision for something that seemed completely out of reach, a concept called Swaraja. To really understand Shivaji's journey, you have to look at the two huge influences in his life. On one side, you had his father, Shahaji Bhosale. He was a high-ranking noble in the Bijapur Sultanate, living a life of service inside an established empire. But his mother, Jijabai, she saw a totally different destiny for him. She didn't want him to just serve another ruler. She wanted him to be the ruler. She was the one who planted that powerful seed of Swarajya, of self-rule, deep in his mind. So how did she do it? How did she build this incredible vision in him? Through the power of stories. She would tell him these epic tales from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. But these weren't just bedtime stories. They were lessons. They taught him about justice, about doing the right thing, and about the moral duty to stand up to tyranny no matter how impossible the odds seemed. Okay, so a dream is one thing, but turning it into a reality? That's a whole different ballgame. So how did Shivaji take this idea of self-rule and actually start forging an empire? This is the moment when the boy who listened to stories about heroes starts to become one himself. And man, did he move fast. While he was still just a teenager, he and his band of loyal friends started taking over key forts. The capture of Torna Fort in 1646, that was more than just a victory. It was the first physical, tangible piece of Swaraja. With every new fort he took, like Rajgarh and Purandar, he wasn't just grabbing land, he was building a solid foundation for everything that was about to come. So you're probably wondering, how in the world was he pulling this off against armies that were way bigger and had better weapons? Well, he had a secret weapon of his own, a tactic known as Ganimi Kanjava. Think of it as guerrilla warfare, but perfected for his homeland. Instead of facing his enemies in a big, open battle, he used the rugged hills and valleys as his greatest ally. He'd strike with lightning speed and surprise, and then just poof, melt back into the landscape. Well, this new way of fighting? It was about to be put to the ultimate test, because now the big powers were starting to notice him, and they were not happy about it. The next few years would be what defined his legend, pushing his courage and his strategic genius to the absolute limit. I mean, just look at the showdown with Afzal Khan. He was this feared general sent to crush Shivaji once and for all. Khan sets up a meeting, but his real plan was to kill him right then and there. But Shivaji, he was always thinking 2 steps ahead. He suspected a trap, so he showed up wearing hidden armor and carrying a concealed weapon. When Khan made his move, Shivaji was ready. His counterattack was swift and absolutely decisive. And in that one moment, he didn't just save his own life, he sent a powerful message across the land that he was a force to be reckoned with. But maybe his single greatest test came when he was deep in enemy territory. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, seeing Shivaji as this rising threat, invited him to his court in Agra, and then had him arrested and put under house arrest. For any other leader, this would have been the end of the story. But Shivaji wasn't any other leader, was he? Trapped, hundreds and hundreds of miles from his kingdom, with guards watching his every move, his mind was already spinning, putting together one of the most brilliant and audacious escape plans in history. and unbelievably, he pulled it off. This event, now known as the Great Escape from Agra, is the stuff of legend. I mean, it showed more than just his personal bravery. It showed this incredible intelligence and a spirit that simply refused to be broken. He made it all the way home, much to the shock and absolute fury of the Mughal emperor. But look, the thrilling escapes, the battlefield victories, that's really only half the story. Because Shivaji's ultimate goal wasn't just to win battles, it was to build something that would last. His true, enduring legacy is found in the kind of kingdom he created, one based on principles that were pretty revolutionary for the time. And it all led to this one pivotal year, 1674. At Raigad Fort, Shivaji was formally crowned Chhatrapati, the sovereign ruler. Now, this wasn't just some fancy ceremony. It was a formal declaration to the entire world that the dream of Swarajya wasn't a dream anymore. It was real. The Maratha Empire had arrived. And this is what really set his kingdom apart. He wasn't just another conqueror. He was a nation builder. He created a strong administration, yeah, but one that was focused on justice for everyone. He made the well-being of farmers and regular people his top priority. His kingdom was known for its religious tolerance, and he enforced strict rules protecting women. And by doing all of this, he earned something way more valuable than land or gold: the absolute trust and loyalty of his people. So, let's go back to our original question. How did he do it all? Shivaji's story shows us that real power doesn't just come from having a bigger army. It comes from having a clear vision, a brilliant strategy, and a deep commitment to justice. He proved that an empire built on the loyalty of its people is just stronger than one built on fear. And his journey leaves us with this huge question to think about. What does it really take to turn a dream of freedom into a reality you can touch? According to Shivaji, the difference is the courage to get up and build it yourself.